Ливадия is one of the most beautiful and interesting corners of the South Crimea. The grand white palace in the wonderful greenery park, the calm and majestic landscape of the Crimean mountains, and the endless horizon of the Black Sea. One can hardly find such wonderful sights all over the world. Many years ago, an ancient Greek city colony appeared here along the shore of the Black Sea among the big meadows. Apparently at that time, this place was called Ливадия, which means a meadow in Greek. In 1783, Catherine II gave the plots of land to Orthodox Greeks from the so-called Balaclava battalion, which gathered the southern coast from Balaclava to Theodosius. The first palace was built here in Ливадия only in 40 of the 19th century. At that time, a beautiful landscape park was laid here on the territory of 40 Desetinas. Leo Pototsky, the Livadia's owner, was a man of an outstanding taste and big financial possibilities. So his estate was arranged by the well-known architect Carl Eschliman and talented horticulturist Dallinger. The Livadia estate began to develop into a vast economic complex, which today, after almost 2 centuries of architects and gardeners' experience, astonishes with a large park, graceful fountains, marble benches, and exotic pavilions. In 1861, the Crown, according to the advice of Professor Botkin, bought the Livadia estate for Alexander II as the climatic spa treatment for his wife, Empress Maria Alexandrovna. It was decided to replenish the estate, and the task was assigned to Ippolyte Monehetti, the famous St. Petersburg architect. During a period of 4 years, he created the magnificent palace-cum-garden ensemble. The Grand Imperial Palace, in its radiant whiteness, contrasted greatly with the greenery of the park. It was comfortable and domestic, with Ayvazovsky frescoes and the tracery repeated later in many other buildings of the ensemble. Time hasn't spared the small imperial palace, which was built for the Crown Prince Alexander Alexandrovich and became the top of Monehetti's work according to some specialists. The August family, Alexander III especially, liked their small palace very much. Alexander III died in the bedroom of the small palace at the age of 49. Today, there are but a few Monehetti's buildings that have survived. Among them, there is the Church of the Exaltation of the Cross, which in plan is a typical Greek and Byzantine-style church with an unique Antonio Salvatis mosaic. It was the palace church where Alexander III's funeral service was held. The ceremony of the acceptance of the orthodoxy by the bride of Emperor Nicholas II, Princess Alex of Hesse, named Alexandra Fedorovna, took place. The manifesto on the accession of the successor Crown Prince Nikolai Alexandrovich was proclaimed. And then the library and the clubhouse, the agitation center and the storehouse were opened here in Romanov's family church. Nowadays, the old believers are at last again invited inside. It's quite natural that when the August family bought the Livadia estate, the people of Minsk began to buy plots of land on the Crimean southern coast. Ministers and diplomats, famous writers and artists built villas and mansions here to spend their leisure time or to have treatment. When the August family came to Livadia in the autumn of 1909, it was decided to erect a new imperial palace in place of the old Grand Palace. The task was assigned to the gifted Yalta architect Nikolai Krasnov, who had built several outstanding palaces and temples, wonderful estates, on the southern coast of the Crimea. The Grand White Palace was built very quickly, in 17 months, and in 1911 the August family came to Yalta to see their new palace. It liked them very much. The Grand White Palace was built in Italian Renaissance style, and according to the August wishes, the details of Neo-Renaissance and Gothic, modern and Eastern motifs were added here as well. The main northern entrance was decorated by the monograms of the members of the August family. One can see some motifs of great Raphael's graphic on the doors and marble benches. The light and airy Italian patio makes an unforgettable impression with its wide galleries, Florentine lanterns and hammered tracery gates. The main task of architect was to unite the palace's sublimity with the comfort of the modern private house. So Krasnov decided to dispose all inhabited rooms to the south and southwest. The emperor's upper study was light and spacious, with grey and green marble fireplace and maple panels. It became the most architect's success as Nicholas II said. The emperor's bedroom, the empress's rooms, the small family dining room and all that was the sweet Livadia, the place of Tsar family peace and rest. Every time when the Tsar lived in his southern estate, Livadia turned into a center of political and cultural life of Russia. The palace had 5 official ceremonial halls, and each of them had its own original decoration. The biggest apartment, the Grand White Hall, was designed in the Italian Renaissance style and used as the ceremonial hall. In the waiting room, resembling one of the Venetian Doge's halls, the courtiers gathered in front of the Tsar Grand Reception study, designed in the late French classical style. The lovers of billiard played in the billiard room, decorated with wood in 16th century English style. The special chemical compound protected the white walls of the palace against the winds and the rains. The Ливадия estate included not only the grand and the small palaces, but the sweet house, the Baron Frederick's palace, the electric power station, the garage, the conservatory, the stables and many other buildings which made a magnificent palace's calm garden ensemble. On the eastern door of the Grand Palace, Nicholas II nailed the horseshoe which symbolized the future family happiness. It was the spring of 1914 when the family came to Livadia for the last time. Then the First World War and the Revolution broke out. In 1925, the Peasants' Park, which was the first in the world, was opened in the Grand Palace according to Lenin's decree. During the World War II, the fascist General Manstein had his staff in Livadia. The estate wasn't destroyed. Hitler wanted to gift it to Himmler. After the liberation of the Crimea in the spring of 1944, the Soviet military hospital was set up in Ливадия. And in February 45, the well-known Crimean Yalta Conference of the heads of the three great Allied powers of the anti-Hitler coalition, USSR, USA and Great Britain, was held in Ливадия. From February the 4th to the 11th, in the ceremonial White Hall, 8 plenary sessions took place. Here the post-war arrangement of the world was directed and the Declaration of the Free Europe was adopted. The residence of the USA delegation was in Ливадия as well. The formal royal waiting room and the ceremonial study had been placed at the disposal of Franklin Roosevelt. On February the 11th, in the former English billiard room, the heads of the delegations, Stalin, Roosevelt and Churchill, have signed the concluding documents of the conference, after which they went to Italian patio to make photos. After the war, Ливадия became one of Stalin's state summer cottages and later a spa. In 1974, the museum was opened here on the days of President Nixon's visit. Today, Ливадия is the monument of the world history. Let's save it all together.